This is the time of the modern-day mystic. As life continues to complicate for those who are struggling to keep up with the Joneses, the world shifts around them. Watching the news, listening to the conversations of those on the trains and in the bars and restaurants reveals the extent of the general confusion with which events in the world are being met. As nuclear reactors melt down in Japan, record-breaking earthquakes, tornadoes, and floods affect the workings of humankind, people continue to go about their daily business as if tomorrow is going to be the same as yesterday, and today is an aberration to be remarked upon in passing, but not to be heralded as the sign of some fundamental change in the way that the world works. The modern-day mystics are those who live life as it comes to them, those with a deeper understanding of the flow of life and events, who see the meaning behind seemingly mundane and coincidental events, and who draw supernatural conclusions from these events pertaining to themselves, their paths in the world, and the destiny of that world as one holistic, interconnected expression of one consciousness. To those around them who aren't so inclined, they may seem to be crazy or irresponsible or uncaring. They may seem to exemplify the characteristics of the tarot fool who carries all he owns in a bag on a stick slung over his shoulder, his eyes to the heavens as he seems to be about to step off of a cliff, while a bolt of lightning appears to be about to strike him from behind. And this is, to a large extent, how the modern-day mystics live, trusting in what seems to be intangible forces of fate and coincidence to take care of them, to guide them in some way along a path that appears only as each step is taken, with no security or safety offered in exchange for this seemingly blind trust. The modern-day mystics struggle for understanding at first. They try to explain themselves to their family members and friends, often to no avail. This lifestyle does not make any sense in the world they reside in, the world of bills and 9-to-5 jobs, of mortgages and car payments, of Friday night outings, church, mowing the lawn, and barbecues every other Sunday. They undergo the castigation of those closest to them, the pain of necessary separation as their path has diverged from that of the majority of those still living under a failing system of social and governmental control. The modern-day mystic struggles to find his or her way, struggling to come to terms with the new idea of living without boundaries, without security, and often without support or understanding from anyone other than those like them. As they make their way through the twilight world of the margins of society, they may encounter characters embarked upon the darker paths of the soul. But their light always shines through, and they are protected from harm, sometimes in seemingly miraculous or coincidental ways, always finding a path through situations that often only appeared because they are beings of the light, whose intentions are of the highest degree. And they watch, always and lovingly, as those they care for struggle with the demands of a vampiric system of existence based upon a death culture, inimical to growth and prosperity of any outside of those who have bought into the system tooth and nail. The depth of the denial is staggering. The mainstream media, governments, groups, and individuals are consciously choosing ignorance over knowledge in what seems to be the desperate hope that by concentrating upon ephemeral political and social tropes, that the majority of people will sit complacently in their armchairs and watch their news and reality shows, content to trust in their leaders' infallible authority and the certain knowledge that they have the people's best interests at heart. The truth regarding the secretive elite cabals, the manipulations of the monetary and political systems, the overt cultural and racial domination and genocides, the corruption and sheer expressions of evil and debauchery are available in books, articles, and on innumerable websites. The information regarding the poisonous food, the poisonous air, and the poisonous water is also readily available to all who wish to know it. And yet, those who desperately need the comfort and faux stability of their jobs and social groupings grab on to the faintest strands of rationalization in order to justify their obtuse reliance upon the blissful ignorance theory of existence, or the what you choose not to know hopefully can't harm you lifestyle. The modern-day mystics shine like stars to those who know them, even as they fail the socially constructed criterion of successful indoctrination and assimilation into the system. The goodness of their hearts is explained away as naivety. The compassion they feel for others is innocence. Their insistence upon living their lives their own way and not following the path of systemic servitude leading to an early death and spiritual dissolution, their selfishness, and perhaps even insanity. And yet, the modern-day mystics understand these rationalizations and explanations as necessary talking points for their family members and friends, who have to explain away their lifestyle choices to themselves, as well as their friends and other family members who are also lost in the system. But this is the way it has always been. For all those who have found themselves unable to exist within the constraints of a society that stifles rather than revels in true creativity, that controls rather than releases the bonds of expression, that hides rather than reveals the secrets of the ages, and that lies rather than tells the truth about the world and what exactly is going on. The modern-day mystics know the time. They know what is going on, because they not only pay attention to the stars, the clouds, the trees, and the animals, but they pay attention to what they feel inside, what their intuition tells them, what their angels, ancestors, and guides show them about the world, and what lies beyond. The modern-day mystics are equally comfortable with quantum physics and the Kabbalah, the Bible or the Vedas, meditation techniques or prayers, the necessity of laughter for a healthy life, and the necessity for tears sometimes. The modern-day mystics are familiar with the latest news about disclosure, as well as the underlying meaning of messages that the world elites share, but that most are too closed-minded to choose to hear. They understand that not everybody seeks knowledge or a way to successfully navigate the world with your spirit intact. They also understand that that is okay and the way things are supposed to be. And this, in the end, is the key. The fact that the modern-day mystics understand that life is, in the now, in each instance, a gift, something special to be remarked upon and cherished for exactly what it seems to be, with no illusions or preconceptions obscuring the pure perfection of existence lived in the moment. That plans and dreams often come to naught. It is the journey that matters and not the goal, and that there is really no such thing as lasting peace or security in this world, and that, in fact, that is the beauty and perfection of it. And if there were security, if there were lasting peace, then there would be no reason to come here at all, since the journey is about growth and about lessons and about challenging the self and its limitations in order to transcend them on the way back to where we all came from in the first place. Beyond words, beyond thought, beyond bodies, beyond conception. We all possess the potential to become modern-day mystics if we choose to do so. But often the path to that lifestyle lies through the dregs of pain and heartache, of agony and the pure grief of total personal destruction. You must die to your previous self in order to truly become someone else, and most people are not willing to do that without some external push that makes it so. But sometimes that push comes from within, and the life choices that we make lead us invariably to a point where we must determine who we are and what we are living for, what our contribution to creation is to be, and what we are willing to sacrifice in order to manifest it. Once that determination is made, though, and the path embarked upon, there is no turning back. No re-entering the matrix, no asking for forgiveness and attempting to put that three-piece suit or pants back on. Because the system recognizes its own and destroys those it knows are not of it. But that's all right, mystic. You walk upon the pathless path, written in the stars and cast upon far shores and distant lands of mystical beauty and delight, and eternity is your destiny, the infinite, your transitory resting place, for there is no death, no end and no beginning. You are, we are, all is, forever and ever. Insert your choice of declaration of affirmation here.